Hello, everybody. Aaron Sampson here.
And Ryan Schubert.
And we are with GameSpot, and we are looking at Star Wars Battlefront II today. As everybody, well, many of you have heard, LucasArts is gone.
It's no more.
The mouse put a knife in their back. That mouse is kind of a dick.
That mouse is, yes, is kind of a dick.
It's like, I think Mickey's more of like the South Park version of Mickey now. Where he like laughs and abuse. What are you doing? Who are you? What is going on?
Hold on, I've got some control issues.
So I will be running the chat. Ryan Schubert will be playing some Battlefront 2. We've been playing old LucasArts games all week. I think, and then the week before that, I think Danny was clairvoyant and played some Republic Commando, knowing somehow deep inside that the death of LucasArts was to come.
It was
yeah.
in fact to come.
But we would love to hear in the chat. Join us on Twitch. What you guys think of LucasArts going away. To be honest, I think the last game that they made was the Kinect like Star Wars game. You've got lots of arms.
Damn right I got lots of arms.
Where's your chest cold?
Oh, I died. It looks like he died too, though.
Why don't you have a chest cold? I feel like I should cough.
Oh.
So Battlefront 2 was the last one, right? The last Battlefront game to be made?
Yes, it was. There was
some PSP.
There was talk for a while about a 3, but it never happened.
There was some pretty good PSP Battlefront style games that happened. But yeah, so the last game that they made, I think, was Star Wars Kinect. And that involved a dancing emperor, so maybe I don't know. Maybe
that had something to do
maybe
with
dancing emperor is what killed LucasArts. But this, I don't know, it's a studio that kind of defined the 80s generation's childhoods. I mean, I remember growing up with like Sam and Max, Monkey Island, Indiana Jones.
Maniac Mansion.
Yeah.
I seem to just die when I try spawning.
X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. I mean, this studio played a huge role in at least influencing my childhood, I think.
Oh, definitely.
And, I don't know if they have the appeal to anybody after you are floating.
I'm the Emperor.
What can you do? Some sweet Emperor moves, like...
You don't think floating is enough?
Talk your way out of this. We're in
I
multiplayer.
Find your lack of faith, disappointing. So Battlefront, if people aren't familiar with it, is this kind of what I like to say is, and now we're talking about like really old stuff, but to me it's this actually really great blend of Battlefield, Star Wars, and an old game called now it's escaping me. What was it called?
Where are you going with this?
Oh, I was, I looked it up earlier. I used to play it, but it's like, I mean, all the way back on like the Sega Genesis.
It's all right. We got your meaning.
There was a game that was like sort of a strategy, like you'd fly from like one star cluster to another, and you would set up mines and colonies, and you could build ships for your faction, and then you would have these space battles. And this kind of has that. Like this has.
Was it Space Quest? I just made that up.
I want to say it was something like that.
Yeah, I remember a Genesis game that was like that.
And basically it was cool because you'd have these like top-down ship battles to fight over planets against another player. And then this basically has that almost that same model at heart. Like basically what you do is...
So part strategy, part first-person combat, or in this case, third-person combat. You can flip that in the menu.
I think they force you in the third person when you play a hero.
Oh, a hero, yeah. So right now we're playing multiplayer online. We actually just fired up the servers, and there was a couple of full matches. I don't know if these people just hopped in with the death of LucasArts, or if they've been playing ever since, like, whenever this came out, like 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years ago. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed that Battlefront 2 never, or Battlefront 3 never happened, because there was some cool concept art coming out from that. And
I mean, I don't see why. I mean, honestly, I think this was such a great idea, but then that's because I'm a Battlefield fan.
yeah,
I'm like, wow, Star Wars and Battlefield. And then that campaign mode is actually kind of cool because it's fun. You take over planets, you have space battles, or you can get in the next wing.
I really like the mode in this game where you fight from ship to ship with aircraft, with X-wings and TIE fighters and A-wings in the middle.
It's great too because in that mode, just like. You still have...
this is Darth Maul before he was cut in half and then reforged.
Sort of like with air superiority.
Oh, look at Yoda, he's so small. He's so small and cute, and he's murdering you.
I have not killed a single person in this mode. This is quite embarrassing.
We may have to flip you over to the single-player campaign.
Yes, just so that I'm not constantly dying. But the campaign's kind of cool.
You mean Star Wars Rebellion? Master Yoda says.
See, what's that? I spawned dead.
Is that a Boba or a Django?
This is Django. But every time I've tried spawning as a Fett, I just spawn dead.
I feel like post George Lucas's...
See, look, dead. I spawned dead.
It's better than spawning as a seagull, as an Arma 3. I feel like every time you spawn as Darth Vader...
Spawn as a Jawa.
Post, like, new Star Wars films, you have to be like, no!
Yeah, I agree. No.
I do wonder if LucasArts had appeal to people sort of beyond the generation where George Lucas was actually on his game. Because, I mean, George Lucas, he's a brilliant guy. Not such a brilliant filmmaker, but, like...
I'm terrible at this.
You know, George Lucas took his Star Wars series and basically turned that into his digital effects empire.
Right.
I mean, the guy is just like... Is he a billionaire? The guy made he made $1 billion off Star Wars.
He did off of the deal.
And then, you know, he was a genius at merchandising. Well, he still is, but, you know, genius at merchandising, genius at special effects and sound. But in his later years, he kind of forgot how to make a movie. And I don't know, I think LucasArts was sort of withering on the vine in recent years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Disney could have gone in one of two directions. They could have, you know, doubled down with Battlefront in 1313, or, you know, do what they ended up doing, which is to say we don't really want to get in the business of, you know, in-house video game production.
Did I get a kill, or did he just spontaneously die? No, I did get a kill.
You want to hop over to another type of match, and we'll just see what else is out there? So we're on Tatooine here.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
But, you know, I was a huge Star Wars fan growing up, and LucasArts really did help define my childhood. So it feels like a big loss for me. But, you know, again, if I think about what they've done recently, not a lot.
No, not a lot. But, I mean, they were working on, what, 1313?
Yeah.
And... You know, I think part of the thing that bums me out about it is not so much like whether, you know, their latest things were that good, but, you know, for the Bay Area, it was actually kind of like a, you know...
A loss.
You know, it's like sort of a cultural thing.
I mean, George...
You know, the spot on the Presidio where, you know, there's the Yoda statue. And also, it's like not just LucasArts, but there's a lot of like connection to the older like Star Wars world that came with LucasArts. Like, for example, the Creature Shop that used to be ILM did a lot of 3D modeling for the Star Wars games. So like, and those guys worked on the Star Wars movies. So it's like, when you take away, it's not just like the developers, but you're taking away these people that helped create the look of the movies that were part of creating the look of the games, and now they're out of, you know, they're not necessarily out of work because they do other movies too, but that's, you know, one revenue stream for these like creature effects guys that like made these characters that we know and love or have loved for so many years. Like, their revenue stream there is also diminished.
And, you know, our office is based out of San Francisco. A lot of us grew up in the Bay Area. And, you know, George Lucas's... This was like kind of the seat of George Lucas's empire, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
I mean, George Lucas has Skywalker Ranch up in Marin. He's got a giant campus he just built in San Francisco. You know, it's always been a bit of, like, I guess, Bay Area pride. You know, the AT-AT Walkers were influenced by the cranes over in Oakland. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always been... Star Wars is intricately tied to the Bay Area. And, you know, George Lucas's Industrial Light and Magic and everything have always been tied to the Bay Area. So I think, people who are from here, again, it was part of their identity, and it feels a little bit sad to see that go,
Yeah, definitely.
Funny story, too, actually. George Lucas apparently was trying to build like a mega studio up north in Marin to continue production before I guess he decided to retire. And the local residents basically fought him for years until he just gave up. It's like, fine, you guys don't want like millions of dollars into your local economy. How about this? And then he basically gave up the land that he was going to build for a studio into low-income housing.
On purpose.
On purpose.
To spite them.
I don't know if he did it.
You don't want movie crews coming through your neighborhood? Well, then you got low-income housing.
You don't want millions of dollars? Here's some low-income housing. Have fun, I'm retiring. I laughed so hard when I heard about that. So that was his final contribution to that community, who didn't let him build his multi-billion-dollar studio. Okay, I'm also in the chat here. I will start firing up some comments.
You got any peoples in the chats?
Well, Sangster9 says Disney's influence would have made any new Star Wars game crap, so this might be good. Jeddah Muzzy says, not sure Sangster9, the game 1313 was ready to be released and would not have been better to release. Would it have not been better to release it and make some profit than shut them down?
I can't kill anybody. I'm out of this. I'm out of here.
Yeah, why don't you hop out of this Heroes match? You're getting murdered by Heroes.
Yeah.
I don't know how far 1313 actually was in production. I think it certainly wasn't ready for release just yet. And there's a possibility, a good possibility, I don't know, that Disney will just basically farm the rest of that game out. We'll see. It might be dead, but I have a feeling Disney's, it's a business. I think if they see that 1313's far enough along, I'm sure they would want to recoup, because they paid money for it.
Yeah.
They bought all of those assets, so... And unless they have... Well, they've got all that sweet Pixar money floating around right now.
It wouldn't... This is another Heroes thing, man.
May have to go back. You want to show people go back into some instant action or single player?
How is this another Heroes battle?
I think that's all people are really wanting to play right now, is because everybody wants to be a hero. Nobody wants to be just a,
But the fun of this game is
nobody wants to be...
We're doing the... How do I get out of here?
Just quit, yeah. Nobody wants to be Joe Schmo Wookiee.
But it's fun to be Joe Schmo. You can be a stormtrooper. How cool is that?
So this is
I don't know. I always liked that.
So we got, 4 or 5 servers up right now? We just downloaded this game, Battlefront II, for $10 on Steam. So I guess if people want to get in their last hurrah in Battlefront, there's a couple of servers still up. Jeddah Muzzy says Jedi Temple best map ever. Is there a Jedi Temple map? Otherwise,
there could be.
Otherwise, we could just do the instant action.
There's I guess this game does populate bots, right? So
Soliloquies is taking a practical approach, saying it's best not to expect much. That way, you can be pleasantly surprised. So here's.
Well, I wonder if there. The thing about 1313 going away is that I think a lot of people were looking forward to was the idea of a more adult Star Wars game.
Yeah.
And just the idea that Disney will follow through with an adult Star Wars game with the LucasArts brand basically dissolved seems really unlikely to me.
Although they did hire the director who was working on the Avengers film, if I'm correct, and that dude is good at making good movies, especially with, I guess franchises that need to be revitalized. In some ways, I'm kind of relieved that it's out of George Lucas's hands, because I think that I think he's a wizard at special effects, but I think he became a horrible storyteller. And so...
I'm inclined to agree with that.
Yeah, and so Star Wars being out of his hands in some ways, could be kind of a relief.
I'm gonna get my Stormtrooper on. And we're not winning.
Skrillback says, I think having more Star Wars games that are not about Jedi is the right way to go. That was the appeal for me in 1313. I totally played the Star Wars MMO. That guy is Not responding to your blaster fire.
This is a great game sometimes, isn't it?
He's on your team though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, that would have.
Yeah.
I'm
That
like
is
looking
why.
at all the red dots
That
on
is
the
why.
radar, and I'm like, what the hell?
You,
that guy?
sir. Are you on Hoth right now?
Yeah, this is Jabba's palace. Dude, that's like human player.
Oh, you're playing against other people, yeah.
There's some other people.
Right click is your what, thermal detonators?
I rebound a few things.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so, you know, in the Star Wars MMO, I remember when they first started that, remember, it took like 1,000 hours to become a Jedi, and then there was like permadeath for people who became Jedi. So most people just ended up dancing in cantinas for money, just selling their bodies. That game was the game that made me stop playing MMOs forever.
Yeah. Hey, buddy.
Disney has something big in their hands, but the best they can do is a Mickey Mouse Darth
Oh,
Vader.
God.
Says
Oh, God.
Jesse 3600.
I should have known that was going to be there.
That is a Rancor. I love how like a lot of the Star Wars games were totally like, remember this part from the movie? I don't know if they ever really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, sort of in George Lucas's merchandising fashion, a lot of his games didn't really like innovate. They were just like, hey, remember this part? Hey, remember that part? And then I think Dark Forces came along and sort of started changing that. What was it? Rogue Squadron was totally like, you didn't even fly the airplane, the X-Wing. You just sort of like told it when to duck and dive and weave.
I don't even remember. Honestly, I haven't played a whole lot of the Star Wars games. I probably played like X-Wing and TIE Fighter way back in the day.
Jedi Muzzy says, haha, Donald Duck as the bounty hunter and Goofy as Luke. I think we've got some crossover recommendations going down here.
For sure.
So you're basically playing Conquest right now, right?
Yeah, this is Conquest. If I can... Although it seems like my team is just kind of...
Oh, thermal detonate.
I love how that didn't kill anybody.
Did you remap aiming down sights to the right mouse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's funny. It's one of those games that was middle mouse button originally.
Mm-hmm.
Man, when I was playing BioShock Infinite, the first thing I did was map aim down sights to the right mouse.
Mm-hmm. That's what you get used to.
I mean, it works on a gamepad with the clicking the stick. That guy just fell on your head and you died.
I died a very unfortunate.
Maybe a couple more minutes in this, and then we should totally hop into like a space round and go back and remember that.
I mean, that's why I said maybe we can do some campaign, because other than, I don't know, maybe I can affect the bot difficulty or something. Because when I was playing it before, when you walked in here, as you may have noticed, we were down to like 1 ticket count left.
Was this pre or post Jar Jar? I think this was post Jar Jar.
Oh, this
right?
is post. Yeah, this is because this is.
Remember that part from the movie? Turn around. Remember that part from the movie? That's totally what like half these scenes are.
But yeah.
Jedi Muzzy says one of the best Star Wars games is Jedi Starfighter PS2. I actually agree. I really, really liked that game a lot. That game had some very creative battles, and your friends could hop in and as the second player and be in the turret of your Starfighter.
That you can do that in this actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is actually like, you know, it was actually a pretty robust game, all things considered.
And Adoran 5 is either speaking a language from Star Wars or a language from the real world, but I cannot tell.
Fantastic.
Rebel Assault. So I don't know, for those of you in the chat, I don't know, depending on your age, was LucasArts a big part of your childhood or teenage years? Or, I mean, I'm kind of curious, what people born after, like mid to late 90s might have not had a relationship with this studio?
Well, they reached a lot of people with the...
Oh, yeah, Pod Racer.
Mm-hmm. I shock you with my shock weapon.
You have a shock weapon?
And it's out of ammo.
Use your blaster. They never had like an Easter egg in here where like that I know of where the blaster actually sounded like, was it a 44 Magnum going off? They snuck into the original Star Wars at one point.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get at it.
Any Wilhelm screams in here?
That would be funny. Of course, now it's like the Wilhelm scream is so overused at this point.
Dude, my wife did not know what that was, and I told her one day, and all of a sudden she's just like noticing it in everything ever made.
Well, once you hear it, it's hard to unhear it.
The Wilhelm scream is literally pretty much in every movie ever made. It's just a fact.
So I forget, like assault mode. I don't know, whatever.
I think assault might be is that the ship-to-ship mode?
No, because it was like we were on Mos Eisley playing.
Why don't we flip over to the campaign just so we can choose what we're looking at? Oh, by the way, if you download this game,
I saved a game. That's bullshit.
if you download this game off Steam, there's a weird bug where it won't launch until you go to your audio panel. You go to the recordings tab, and you have to enable stereo mix. It's a really like random bug.
Boy, that's weird.
Yeah, if you download this off Steam, it won't work until you enable stereo mix under your recording panel, under your audio menu.
Okay, what's going on here? Oh, I know, because I didn't want to do campaign. What am I thinking? I don't want to do campaign. Changed my mind.
Jesse 3600 is asking GameSpot, what would you do if you had Star Wars? As in, I guess if we own the license, Dark Forces Rising for sure.
I'd do more of Battlefront.
Yeah.
I want more Battlefront.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, release 1313 and another Battlefront for sure.
Battlefront, get the frostbite going.
Then I'd definitely start on the dark. You know, like there's such a rich. After the Star Wars movies, there are authors who did like with Timothy Zahn, who did a fantastic job carrying on the Star Wars universe. I never really understood why George Lucas wanted to reinvent what had already been written, because those books are so good.
On the northern section of the platform.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
We can take it down. Production facilities in the area will grind to a halt.
Norbage is saying Rogue Squadron was very big for me. I played it a lot.
On the other side of this bridge.
You know what I used to think the coolest thing was in X-Wing versus TIE Fighter? How you could just open and close the S-foils on the X-Wing? I was just like sitting there. I'd never seen that before.
Okay, not in front of the cannon.
You're not gonna win versus turrets.
I need something with rockets.
I think you can hop onto a walker in this one.
Oh yeah, you can, like, I mean, this is what's great about Battlefront, was like just being like all the vehicles that you can use from the movies, and like,
I do think that Battlefront was due for an update, and I think it would. The thing that's kind of surprising to me is I think it would have done well.
I think so. I mean, my thing is I don't see what's like not to like about it personally.
And I think, you know, what everybody still wanted, which would have been awesome, and I don't know, maybe could happen someday, is a ground battle that could at will move up to a ship in space, you know? Like take off from ground to space and back again when you're fighting.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I mean, I guess that's sort of what they're like hinting towards with Dust and Eve, but
Got some talk of it. Was it Terrace Kasai? Was that a fighting game? Star Wars fighting game? Rogue Nine's asking, wasn't Battlefront the best-selling Star Wars game? I don't know how much money X-Wing made back in the day, but that was pretty much it in terms of space.
X-Wing must have done pretty well. Didn't I mean,
it was pretty much that and Wing Commander for a long time. Those were like the titans of, you know, space combat simulation. Go capture the glowy thing.
Oh, that's good.
That's mine.
I need to get ammo from the ammo bot over here.
You can totally destroy the ammo bot accidentally. That guy's not your friend.
That guy's my friend. These are my friends.
I do remember this game was never very good at telling you what your objectives were. It was like really subtle sometimes.
This one's pretty obvious. It's this thing with the arrows. It's basically a conquest situation.
Matt Smith 83 says TIE Fighter and Wing Commander definitely defined my childhood. Yeah. Man, I remember Wing Commander actually. That was the first game where when Joker died in that game. I was like depressed for a couple of days. That was like one of the first games where a central character died, and I was actually. You can hop into that. Just hit return, walk up to it to your left, flip left, jump into that.
Yeah, but I got an objective to go to as well.
We'll kill things on the way.
Oh no, I don't have my axis inverted on this mode. Ah!
You invertee. You mouse invertee. I don't even understand what that is.
Yeah, you do. You use inverted sticks on your.
And you know, crossover, because Wing Commander totally like Mark Hamill's second or third best thing he's ever done. Probably Joker, being the Joker's voice in the Batman animated series, probably second best thing he's ever done.
That was good.
Or maybe, Cockknocker. Yeah.
Listen up, man.
Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Our soldier.
Reprising his role as Cockknocker was definitely good too.
Past the shield barricade. Get behind the shield and take out
All
the
right.
generator.
Okay, I can't do it anymore. Thank you.
I don't understand what I'm seeing. I don't understand how your inverted controls like made it over to your PC game too.
Dude, I started with inverted and that's it.
Did you fly inverted?
Of course, who doesn't?
But like with a joystick or with a mouse?
Both.
So the reason that I have to play...
It's a mental thing.
So thinking back, actually, it's LucasArts' fault that I play inverted on console.
I see.
Because I played like X-Wing for a good 5 years
Don't you mean
straight.
it's somebody else's fault that you don't play inverted on PC?
Well, I always used a joystick though. I never used a mouse to fly in that game. But it actually, now that I think of it, it is LucasArts' fault that I play inverted on gamepads.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you have this way of thinking.
Just totally random thought, but do you ever wonder if, like, the Predator drones that we have flying over Afghanistan, do they give those pilots the option to invert their controls?
Probably. I would. Oh, I'm not, like, doing even the right thing here, am I?
Yeah,
I'm stuck. And I'm stuck.
I think you have to go through that area up to your right.
And I'm stuck.
It's alright, just keep running until you get unstuck. There's no jump, I don't think.
There is not a jump for this particular vehicle. Oh, can I walk off right here?
Yep.
Yep. There we
I think you gotta go through that area up to your right, or destroy those generators somehow. I'm not clear. No, you can't do it that way. That's not gonna work. I think you have to walk up through that area to your right.
You sure? Alright.
Not 100%, but I'm just gonna throw that out there. Up, droid ship.
I got no worries. Oh, game not allow. Okay, there we go.
You can do it.
Yeah, no, this isn't the right way to go. Oh, maybe it's.
Haha, weren't you just telling me a minute earlier how clear the objectives are?
It's not, if we're maybe actually paying
Oh,
attention
maybe
to
it's
when
asking-
it said what we're.
It's asking you to destroy that generator, I think. Just flip around and destroy it. Yep, shoot it. Shoot the generator. There you go.
The CP will serve as an excellent lookout point for
Capture that point.
Yes.
Jedi Muzzy says, a bit weird seeing a walker doing the moonwalk. You're getting exploded by droids. I can honestly say the only game that ever got these droids right, though, was Republic Commando, in which they were actually frightening and or hard to kill.
How is that right, though? They were completely unfrightening and easy to kill in the movies.
Yeah, I think the movies got it wrong. I mean, come on, droids are networks, so they're not going to have to talk to each other. What one droid knows, of course the other droid's going to know.
I wish I had a jump button,
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
since I'm clearly not able to capture without being over there.
You might be able to drop
It'd be
that
cool
shield.
if my team would just take care of it.
Well, the AI from this era.
Yeah, I was reading like one of the things like about this game was that like when it got reviewed, people were like, "Oh, the AI is so much better than it was in the last game."
There's still games that have plenty of bad AI. Just kind of how it works. You exploded.
I actually bailed out before
Nice.
I exploded.
Now you exploded. Yeah, but I think Republic Commando was the only game I ever played where I was actually afraid of the droids. And
Like,
also,
what kind of droids were you afraid of?
they were all hard to
I
kill.
totally could have picked a closer spawn. That's great.
They were legitimately hard to kill with your weapons in that game. Although you could use your, wrist stabber thing and then your windshield wiper to clean off the droid gore.
Anything with a windshield wiper.
Yeah. I was just telling my coworker who rides a motorcycle the other day, they should have invented that already for people riding motorcycles. It's the Republic Commando windshield wiper faceplate. I'm assuming you're probably gonna have to get through there and destroy that
I'm capturing the point, dude.
next generator. Friendly fire's on, sir.
I don't care.
You
Clones, man, they're clones. It's no big deal.
Wasn't that always debate? Like before the Clone Wars was made, wasn't that always a debate in the Star Wars community as to whether they were like recruited? The clones existed, but I think it was established that after a while the Empire just started recruiting again.
Penetrate their shield barricade. So
I'm no expert on this particular
I don't
issue.
think that they kept the clone factories going. I think that they started recruiting after a while. Sabane says, sniping on Hoth was my favorite part of this game. Scrollback says, referring to droids, the fact that they spoke in high-pitched voices and make airplane jokes in the movies makes them not too scary.
That's totally freaking true.
I'm gonna have to try something out though. I'm gonna have to try showing the new Star Wars movies to my daughter when she gets a little bit older and see if George Lucas was maybe smart. Just I wasn't the target audience.
I don't really see how you could be that objectively concerned with the quality of those movies. They just weren't good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, after those movies, I'm a bit glad.
Can I take this over? No.
Hit return, maybe? I don't think so. Usually there's like a control, there's an actual control port you can go to. That thing's shooting you.
I know, I was throwing bombs at it. Let's see.
Matt Smith 83 says, actually, I think I can pinpoint the moment where my heart started sinking in the prequels. The first time battle droids spoke in comedy voices. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty... Oh, crap.
I only ever played hooky one time in school growing up, and it was for the release of Phantom Menace.
Why did I spawn on the beginning? Why does it auto-set your spawn to the beginning of the map?
George Lucas led me to skip school one time. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, the more I think back on it, the more I realize how much George Lucas and his studios defined my, 80s childhood.
Yeah, I mean, it was impossible to escape.
So these, I think, were supposed to be the AT-ST, like, original walkers, or the inspiration for the AT-ST walkers.
Is there a way out on this side? Yes, sir.
Man, not to mention the amount of countless hours I was just, like, daydreaming about this stuff in school and not paying attention.
Oh, totally.
Oh, man.
That's why, to me, like, this one was a dream come true, because,
Yeah.
like, after so many hours of, like, battlefieldness.
What do kids
and, like,
daydream about these days when they're not paying attention in school?
Good question.
Hopefully not like Edward.
take down the core shield by destroying the generator.
It
Scoreback says, my mother took us out of school to see Phantom Menace. She got a great birthday gift that year. Master Yoda says, or was it 66? Oh yeah, not totally sure. Yeah, I guess I wasn't the only person who actually skipped school when Phantom Menace came out. And then, like, I totally made excuses for that movie for a while. I was like, it wasn't that bad.
Oh man, yeah, we were not apologetic about our disappointment.
Oh man, I had to like believe it was like a good enough movie for a long time. I mean, how long did people wait for Phantom Menace? Like 20 years?
No. Oh no, I'm stuck on the outside.
Oh,
This is shitty Imperial equipment is all I'm gonna chalk
Yeah,
this up to.
isn't all Imperial equipment shitty? They don't care about individuals. That's why they make TIE fighters. They don't have shields. That's the whole point, man. That's the whole point. The pod. Okay, I'll admit the pod racing part was cool.
Oh my god.
Now, let's take out the core.
I couldn't stand
Or am
it.
I just making more excuses now?
Why do you keep doing this?
I have to convince myself the one time I played hooky was for a good cause.
Our reinforcements are being depleted. Good work. Now collect the core samples and return them to the dropship.
Why would an infantry soldier be collecting core
Scroll back
samples?
is saying at least that movie was before Hayden's Anakin Skywalker. I don't know if child Anakin Skywalker was any better than Hayden's Skywalker.
Oh my god. I mean, seriously.
At least he didn't have the loving river of love line.
Oh, I just want to forget. I just want to forget.
You may get your wish. I mean, honestly, if the new Star Wars films are awesome, you can just pretend like the other ones never happened. I do like the Clone Wars series on Cartoon Network, which also was, like, murdered by the mouse. But I have a feeling, you know, as pointed out in The Office, that's probably so they could break their contract with Cartoon Network. And I think they've said that they are going to finish that series, so maybe it'll be like a Disney DVD release,
To the drop.
which wouldn't surprise me.
I don't have any problem with that. Here, buddy, get out of there. I'm
Ty
joking.
Ben says Lucas didn't have the best taste in main actor. See, I kind of disagree on that point because I think, you know, they got people who can act, like Liam Neeson and, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi's Train Spotting, why am I
Ewan
blanking?
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. They're people who can act, but I think what happened was George Lucas put them in a giant sterile green room and said, go. And guys like Ewan McGregor were like, oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to swing my stick for a while and hope that I hit something, animate something in for me, you know?
I don't know. I have to blame Lucas, no matter what.
I think just his reliance on special effects is what made those actors not know what the hell was going on in that movie.
Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, it's just shitty directing is all it is.
I mean, there were parts where he animated background stormtroopers who were walking right behind the actors. He could have just hired some hobos for like $5 off the street and it would have looked better. I mean, honestly.
What am I doing here?
Getting back in that thing.
Oh.
Why don't we quit out and go to a space battle?
Oh, we're almost done with this mission.
All right.
man.
Oh yeah, they have dash forces left. Where's that you? I think you have dash forces left. They have 13.
No, we have
Oh,
dash
you-
forces left. We're almost screwed. Why is it not running anymore? There we go.
No, you got all those dudes. Was this one of those games where red is always the enemy, or was it one of those games where it flipped?
No, red is always the enemy.
Okay. So you got 7 left, they've got dash.
Yeah, they have unlimited. And my guys are not doing any good to help our cause here. I really don't think we're gonna make it. Because I dropped the flag. This is what they do. They like, one of the kind of like cool things is that they do sort of incorporate a lot of the elements that are in
Our reinforcement.
the single player into the multiplayer. Like, this is sort of like, it started off as like sort of an assault game, and then a little bit of conquest, and then now it's this like sort of like capture the flag type of thing.
Jedi Muzzy agrees that Clone Wars was brilliant. I think that Clone Wars could be brilliant, was oftentimes inconsistent, but like, you know, one episode would be this fantastic, you know, Anakin going over the dark side episode, and then the next episode would be about kids getting stomach aches and talking to a PTA. Like, that literally happened in one episode. And it's funny because I never understood where the inconsistency of that series came from until I was listening to the creator at Comic-Con talk about it. What he said was basically they would usually make an episode, they'd be in the middle of a meeting, and George Lucas would walk in and be like, hey, I just saw this great movie, and I want you to, like, recreate this scene in your episode from this movie I just saw. Go. And, like, I guess they couldn't say no to him. So I think George Lucas would, like, occasionally walk in and just sort of poop on their creative sessions, and they would have to make whatever he wanted. So I think that's where the inconsistency of that series came from.
Yeah.
But when that game was on its game, when that series was on its game, it could be so good. And it ended on such a cool cliffhanger that, like,
All right,
I can't imagine Disney would not do a DVD release to wrap up that series. Yeah, Ty Ben saying when the prequels were made, he hadn't directed a movie in 20 years or something like that. You know, that's where he should have probably just said, "I will be the producer on this one." Why don't you go space something?
Oh, where is that?
Right here, like
Oh, there goes Space Hoth.
Space Hoth, and just go assault.
Yep.
CTF is actually a center flag game, I think. You have to take the flag to their ship. Let's try some assault. This is the mode that I thought they should have put into Battlefield with, like, aircraft carriers. And fast. Oh, you have to add to map. Add map. Yeah.
Oh, I
go.
see.
And then launch that. Just hit launch.
No, then we can just do a couple of things.
Yeah. So only do one mode, because otherwise it'll run you through all the modes, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. We gotta remove this. What's XL anyway? Do we have any idea what XL is?
I'm trying to remember what the PSP titles were for this. Was it Rebel Alliance or Rebel something? I mean, let me look it up. Because the PSP titles were also actually surprisingly good.
Let's see.
So there was a DS, Elite Squadron. Oh, you remember Lethal Alliance? That was the one with the Twi'lek girl and her, like, robo friend. Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront Renegade Squadron was the PSP version. That one was actually quite excellent. We gave that an 8, and that was back in 2007. So, and it's funny because that was one that did from ground to space. Or was it ground to space, or was something close to that?
I don't remember actually. Space, yeah.
Did anybody out there play Lethal Alliance? I totally almost forgot about that one.
I didn't.
Does anybody own a PSP? I guess that'd be my follow-up
What
question.
am I trying to do here?
You're good. Why don't you just
Where's
launch?
Cloud City, goddammit?
Make sure you click on Space Hoth just to make sure we launch that one. All right, let's do this. Remember UI when it used to suck?
This isn't so bad.
Did anybody out there play on PSP?
That's a good question. All right, going Rebels.
You know, it would be fun to go back and look at when we used to play X-Wing way back in the day. So you had to play it on a floppy disk. That was probably like, could hold, what, 1.4 megabytes or something like that? Like, the whole game fit on, like, was like 5 floppy disks.
Oh, hang on. It's actually... This might actually be more fun in third person.
There you go. You are flying an X-Wing, my friend. Can you close the S-foils? I don't think you
To my
can.
knowledge. All right. Where's that Star Destroyer guy?
Turn around. Oh, there it is. You're right.
No, that's not the Star Destroyer.
That's not it.
That's another one.
That's your Mon Cal Star Cruiser.
There we go.
There you go. Oh, that's right. You can totally, destroy the guns on the surface of it.
Oh, it's so cool. They did a great job with this.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a legacy of like really good games already to like support how this was going to work out, but yeah, head on, not the way to do this.
Yep. So imagine Battlefront 3 with like this, but all the way to the ground. That would be like my ideal Star Wars game. I'm gonna have to take down the shield generators.
Where are those?
On the top.
Are they on the top? They're the big domey things?
Yep, the big dummy radar balls. Go for the balls, man. That's how you take down a Star Destroyer. You go for the...
I shouldn't have taken an X-Wing out then, but whatever.
Go for the head balls.
these aren't showing up as shootable. But there's.
Screwback says, I played on a PSP at Best Buy while waiting for the clerk to get me something. That's my PSP experience in its entirety.
I'll say it was nice to know what it is I'm shooting at.
Does anybody out there remember, I don't know, some kind of shield generator. Does anybody out there remember how much memory, I guess I could look on the internets, but how much memory was on the floppy disk? Was it 1.4 megabytes?
1.44 for a high density, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I crashed. But I got the gun.
I'm not gonna lie though, I think the first thing that I did with the 1.4 megabyte disk was like download naked pictures on the internet. And then I played Star Wars.
High quality naked pictures.
That was when, you know, like way back in the day when like we were really young, when like a lot of actors didn't know about the internet and didn't realize that pictures could be posted there. And it was all like AOL. AOL pretty much was the internet back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 1.44 megabytes.
High density 1.44 megabytes.
And those were high tech because they were replacing hard disks.
Oh, I didn't crash. Oh, but I got blown up.
But the hard disks were the ones that were actually floppy. It was like the wrong, it was like weirdly backwardly named.
Well, yeah, the 5-inch floppy disks were still called floppy disks.
Yeah. But they were hard.
So in a minute, I'm gonna stop flying shit. I'm gonna go on an assault.
Matt Smith thinks that I have blackmail material. I think many of the people whose pictures I had at that age are probably like not somebody you would want to see naked these days.
No, not anymore.
That was like 20 years ago.
So it does kind of behoove you to try and take out these ones.
So can your buddy go turd on the Y-Wings?
I don't know if it's the Y-Wings, but I'm pretty sure one of these you can... Oh, that just locks on or some shit. Hello? Okay.
Oh yeah, if you hold Q it locks on, and then you can fire
really?
your proton torpedoes.
I suck at that.
That's scary that I still know the names of all of these things.
Not really. I mean, that's more your problem than mine, I guess. Wow, those don't shoot at what you want them to shoot at.
If you hit Q, it'll give you the lock on.
Alright.
Why don't you try landing and see if you can destroy some interior.
Yeah, that's next on my list.
That's kind of what was rad about this mode.
Oh, that's what I love about it. What am I shooting at? Oh, just the whole ship.
Nerd City Jim says Betty White. I think she was old even when I was a kid.
Yeah, she was old when we were.
I think Betty White was already old at that point. Now she's just like really old. Oh, don't crash into things. That's my advice.
Usually crashing into things is what kills me. Oh, come on.
I can't remember, was there I think there was eject. Hit E and see what happens.
I don't think there's an eject.
Hit E and see what happens. Hold down E.
I'm holding down E.
All
Sorry.
right.
You know, the Y-Wing just isn't really like your...
Well, the Y-Wing is for strategic bombing, man. It's not made for space combat.
That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do my strategic bombing. Hey, we took out one of the ships already.
If you want to go in between, you got to use the B-Wing, man. The B-Wing can do both strategic bombing and space combat.
I was holding down Q. Whoa!
Screwback says CD-ROMs and downloading music on Napster and Kazaa. Oh, the old days.
Yeah.
I don't know, like when Napster was out, I definitely downloaded some music in college. To me, it didn't seem any different than making a mixtape, which nobody seemed to ever have a problem with.
Yeah.
When they decided that was illegal,
Well, you couldn't like mass
then I stopped.
kind of produce mixtapes.
I do think that intellectual property is important these days. you know, I think artists...
As a CBS employee.
Yeah, well, you know, just... Also, if I ever made a video game or something of that sort, I think you know, whoever makes these things deserves to be paid for them.
Well, what's happening? See, Q.
You just trying to take down their escorts?
Yeah. I'm trying to also use the Q button, which doesn't seem to be doing the trick.
So actually, it's funny, I started playing X-Wing at a friend's house. I used to just go over there all the time, and, like, it wasn't even a co-op game. That was the funny thing. You just take turns playing X-Wing. You trying to destroy the escort ship?
Trying to.
I mean, that's what was cool about Battlefront, though. It kind of combined everything.
Yeah, it totally did.
Albeit to, like, a lighter extent. I mean, this is nowhere near as tactical as X-Wing was.
Sure. It was definitely, like, everything light, but it had everything, which is, again, why I really like it. Like,
do some landing, sir.
So how do I, like, stay locked onto it? There we go. That totally didn't do anything.
Your torpedoes do not want to reach their intended target.
Oh no.
He's probably also mentioned it before, but one of our coworkers, Dan Mahoric, has a ship named after him in X-Wing. I think they've gone and found it once or twice.
Oh, really? That's cool. What the hell is wrong?
Oh,
with...
they have drop. They're
yeah,
bombs.
but what's the point of?
Well, those are dumb bombs, though. I think. I wonder if you could have a co-pilot. Nice, there you go. Use your dumb bombs.
Still want to take this other ship out.
Did the first ship get taken out?
Yeah. I'm not worried about a TIE bomber right behind me. See, the drop... Oh, I see. Gravity. I'm upside down. That's me.
Gravity goes towards the planet.
Of course it does. Yeah.
Remember when this stuff totally used to amaze you? Like the fact that there was a planet below where you were fighting?
Hey, I think this still looks pretty good.
Still pretty
today,
impressive.
Man.
Nice, you totally blued up that escort. Now go for the balls.
All right. Next, once I get killed, I'm gonna go.
Gonna hit the bridge.
I'm gonna go inside, which is my other favorite feature of this.
That is, you're gonna destroy the balls and go inside. This is. Somebody had a sense of humor when they made the order of things.
Do you have to go inside first?
Well, I mean, I think going inside.
Well,
I guess
down, like, the shield.
The objective is to destroy the Star Destroyer, right?
Right.
Or the other ship.
And there's like 5 to 8. Well, you can see on the.
There's many different ways.
You can see on the display that there's like 5. There's 5 like weak spots that need to be taken out.
So you can either destroy it from the outside in combat, or you can go into the interior and destroy it from the inside out.
You can do damage on the inside, but you won't take it down. Like that was the first thing I did when I got on it, because I remembered that from when I played it years ago. I was like, oh right, the cool thing is you can get inside the Star Destroyer and
fly in the trench.
Doing a little trench action, although there's nothing here to...
Man, they have a good sense of scale in this game, though.
They sure do.
I think Star Destroyers are about, what, a kilometer long? It's either a kilometer or a mile long. I had a friend who used to get into that, like, little... Just destroy all the turbo lasers on the Star Destroyer, and then just park his X-Wing out by the shield balls, and then put a rubber band around the trigger, put all the energy into the guns, and walk away and eat a sandwich.
That's
and by the time he got back, the Star Destroyer would be destroyed. The planet is that way. That's kind of funny that the torpedo is totally just... Like, you have to figure out how you are oriented.
Fuck this. I'm switching roles.
Oh, man.
Oh, that did damage, though. There's collision damage.
Wow. Is that your coffee, or is that my coffee from, like, 2 Fridays?
That's me.
Okay. I thought that was my coffee from 2 Fridays ago. Now that we're at the 1 o'clock time, I have my 3 o'clock cup of coffee always.
Oh wait, is that the thing you can get in and destroy? Okay.
Okay, so to the right, you can actually get into turrets, and then you have to walk out of the room through the back wall there. But yeah, so you can totally get into the turrets. Like, this game was expansive. There was a lot.
It really was.
There was a lot that you could do in this game.
Not that I can fire it, apparently.
Maybe it's damaged, and you have to... Whoa. Yeah. Maybe this requires repairs.
Oh, I can switch seats.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Whoa.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's get some of that action going.
I feel like being an Amon Cal cruiser, it should fire, like, hideous space squids or something like that. Did you ever wonder why people who were, like, evolved underwater could breathe air? Did they ever explain that? Giant fish people who can totally breathe air.
You know, don't...
Here, try aiming, see if you can... I'm kind of curious now. Try aiming and see if you can actually damage the other ship.
I'm trying. I can't zoom aim.
Oh, there's no zoom aim.
And once again, I have not inverted the axis on this particular...
Cudge Dave says on a 14.4 modem, I'm assuming, porn took ages to download.
14.4 was fast back
There
then.
wasn't any video back then. It wasn't video, it was just stills. I don't think video,
there was
like...
no video.
Video didn't even exist back then. It was still all, like, you know, VHS tapes.
Yep.
The only place that had any video was, like, America's Funniest Home Video back then.
I'm seeing flames. Am I, like, hopefully damaging this thing?
Yep, that's just pictures for a 14.4 modem.
Oh, yeah.
I am no good at annoying screechy sounds, but do you remember how many years you listened to modems dial up things?
Oh, yes.
One of our coworkers actually has that as his ringtone. I don't know if it's like nostalgia or just annoyance when he does that. So you got to run out of the room. You can't actually. I don't think. I think a lot of the doors may or may not work. Oh, whatever, you got
They
it.
work. Oh, they got our shit.
Oh wow, they've been invading your interior, man.
All right.
They're inside you.
And all this stuff can get destroyed. All right. So, where's the? This way.
The Empire is inside you, sir.
Attention, scramble fighters. Repeat, scramble fighters.
All right, see if you can get into their ship.
That's my plan.
Bob Jones says, I didn't have internet till I went to college. I was lucky my dad was an early adopter of technology, and he would bring home, like, the first laptop, which would be considered a desktop these days.
Oh, yeah.
He also had one of the first car phones, which was literally, there was, like, a car battery in the trunk of the car, and the phone was just basically welded into, like, the center console.
That's hilarious.
And then he had a cell phone that was a briefcase. You actually had to carry around a briefcase and pull the phone out of it. But I'd say, yeah, unless your folks in the 80s were early adopters of technology, most kids probably didn't have access to it.
All right, here we go.
Cuz Dave says, I remember I had to pay 2p per minute for the internet. It used to cost me a fortune. Two pennies a minute, I'm assuming. Scroback says, benefits of living in the middle of the forest.
Security turrets. Security turrets.
Pennies, yeah. Two pennies per minute.
Oh.
I'm not sure Comcast is doing much better. Comcast, you're in their ship right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. They're all starfighting right now, so they're not here to, like, stop you.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, like, in the multiplayer game, you definitely have to have, like, somebody paying attention to, like, whether there's somebody on your ship blowing in your base, killing your dudes, that kind of thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I guess P was referring to something else because the following comment is sent to you damn colonials. I guess we are colonials.
Yeah, well, nobody's perfect.
I've definitely been called a Yank before when I travel. I always thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, God. That's funny, like, dude was in here and totally ignored me. Oh.
Up. He doesn't want you to destroy a ship.
I wonder why not. Why not?
So, not to underscore what you're doing, but at the time, there was no other... I mean, there still is, like, hardly any games that let you do this. Go from...
I know, even Battlefield doesn't do that.
Go from a ship to space combat to interior combat in another ship. I mean, this is like, regardless of execution, a pretty big deal. Yep.
Probably shouldn't have like alerted.
What did we give this? I'm gonna go look up what we gave this game. Battlefront 2.
Oh yeah, taking care of business.
We gave this a 7.8.
Really?
Yep, 7.8.
I wonder why we didn't give it a little bit more.
Yeah, Jedi Muzzy says Battlefield 2142 is the only other game I know that does that.
Right.
Although that was it Dreadnought mode? What's it called again?
Titan?
Titan mode, yeah. But that was on the ground. It wasn't like space combat. But it was the
Right.
closest thing to this. Also, just re-intro for those of you who may be just joining us. We are playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 in honor of the death of
LucasArts.
LucasArts.
It's so sad.
A studio that more or less defined 80s generation kids' childhoods, potentially into maybe early 90s generations. Pioneers of point-and-click adventures, space combat simulators, all kinds of... Even first-person, they were really good in the first-person shooter. I mean, they were doing Dark Forces and tons of other games.
I mean, the first Star Wars game that I like really liked was that one that was released for the N64.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it opens with the Hoth battle, and like my childhood dreams were like to experience the Hoth battle in some kind of awesome way.
I don't know if LucasArts had their hand in any of the early arcade games, but I mean, they were in arcades before home video games were even a thing, you know? We'll probably be... I know that we've been playing LucasArts games all week. We might continue into next week if we haven't tapped out all these titles, but... Yeah, again, I don't know if LucasArts had any appeal to modern gamers. I think they may have peaked, long before the current console cycle, so... You know, I'm not sure if it's something that newer generations will find sad, not having...
Go on.
Matt Smith 83 says vector graphics. Yep. Shadows of the Empire. That was a really good game.
All right, I think I messed everything up that I can mess up in here.
Cyprian 72 says the old wireframe Star Wars arcade game was awesome. I don't know. We'll have to do some research if they had anything to do with that game, but still. I mean, that was when like graphics didn't even exist. That was like the first graphics.
In your base, killing your dudes. In your base.
I'm up in your base, killing your dudes.
Damn it. I need to get more rockets.
Yeah, out of rockets.
I'm out of rockets.
Can you reload on their supply of points?
Yep, you can.
That is a
Hey, there we go. Look at that guy.
That is a
running right past me.
As a slutty reloading droid, he will just reload to anybody.
Hey, you know, it's only got one purpose.
Scrobeck says most of my younger family members find the game slow or boring, but miss the point of the game. I mean, honestly, there's, you know, every generation has things they thought the previous generation did that were boring. But it's strange when you reach that point in your life where you are that generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, keeping them from taking off.
No, they're not happy about that now. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm leaving. I'm stealing your TIE fighter, bitch.
You can totally steal their ship. That's awesome. I gotta say, it is a bit strange hitting the age where you're the guy who's like, oh, back in the day.
When I was your age.
Back in my day, we had 1.4 megabyte discs.
And we liked it.
It took us 3 hours to download internet porn. Back in my day, a portable cellular phone was a briefcase. And the internet used to make this sound boo 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 every time I tried to load it up.
Oh, they don't like it. They don't like what I'm doing.
It's because they think you're a traitor.
Yeah, they're like, how come this TIE fighter's attacking our shit?
Back in my day, George Lucas made good movies.
Screw the bomber, I'm taking out this thing.
Airy Streams is asking if you're playing alone or something versus AI. The comment was, we weren't doing so well against other players.
The human people were kicking our asses.
We could try and go back. We could try and go back.
We could. It's just there were only a few servers open,
And these players
it was
have
mostly like playing hero stuff. So
and
it's
they've
sort of
probably
like,
been playing this game since 2005.
yeah, probably. Oh, I cringe to see personal stats.
When we tried to go over to multiplayer too, all anybody was playing was hero mode.
Yeah, and I wasn't liking that. Like, what I like about this game...
Oh, hell yeah, do some Hoth.
What I like about this game is that it's... wait, I gotta pick Wampas or Rebels.
Dude, be a Wampa. Be a Wampa.
Claw is my weapon.
Did you see that hilarious breakdown in Wired Magazine? Like, couple...
Look at this.
Oh my god, everybody's a Wampa. This just got great.
So, like, is there another Hoth mode where we can do the Hoth battle? Maybe the Hoth battle.
You gotta do Wampa mode right now.
Oh, I'm doing Wampa mode.
You gotta go eat some Tauntauns. Because they're tastier on the inside. Get it?
Hey, Millennium Falcon.
Get it? I just made fun of the movie. Man, you're way better than Darth Vader at that. Oh, this is Wampas versus Rebels?
This is like senselessly weird.
This just got great. Was this... Did you go back to multiplayer?
No.
This was single player?
This is in the playlist.
Really? That's rad. You should drive a vehicle. Can you find a vehicle to drive? Please tell me you
maybe I
can.
can take over a turret or something.
Wow, you are running fast, sir. There's a Wookiee there. Wampa, dude, Wampa versus Wookiee.
No, that Wookiee's no more. Yeah.
What, you're not gonna let the Wookiee win?
This is some weird alternate reality
Should I
shit.
just do
here.
more bad movie puns? Cuz Dave is asking if anybody remembers 3D Star Strike on the ZX Spectrum, an excellent Star Wars ripoff. Being that nobody has responded, I'm going to assume that Cudge Dave is the oldest person in the chat right now.
I'm in your base. I'm in your base.
This doesn't seem like a fair fight. I'm just going to throw this out there, but it seems like Wampas are way more powerful.
Well, I am almost dead, to be fair. Oh, I'm smoking.
What is he doing? Was he trying to do artillery?
Is there like a healing droid for this?
Wampas don't have droids. Oh yeah, they do. Man, those are like the sluttiest droids ever. They will just take.
They just don't.
It's just all comers. Oh god, that was.
This is like
no pun intended.
Excruciatingly slow. Okay, screw it. I get killed. I don't think the point of the Wampa is to like stay alive. Raw.
Dadeness is saying one shot everything. Although I believe he said everything.
There. What the hell was that thing?
You just burned to death. This is like the equivalent of Left 4 Dead mode.
Yeah, it is.
In Star Wars.
It totally is.
Scrowback says, you are our lore keeper, Dave. We come to you for our knowledge.
Still a paradigm.
You know what? You know what did happen in the '80s generation to get a little bit more profound was that we stopped going to our grandparents for knowledge because the internet made them come to us for knowledge. It was like this weird thing. Like for thousands of years, people went to their grandparents to ask questions about life, and then all of a sudden, your grandparents like couldn't even get the internet working, and they had to like come to you for internet. There was this like really weird role reversal that happened. And I think the 1980s was like a changing point in human history.
Easily.
I don't know if it'll, you know, change back since our generation then continued to use internet.
Oh, I just hit my own guy. This is just so absurd.
Dude, Wookiees are no match for Wampas. What's your secondary attack? Is there
It's
one?
like that. The two paw is the secondary.
Oh yeah, and the primary is like one paw at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that?
Double teamed.
He died. It's just a freaking rebel massacre.
Yes, victory indeed.
I didn't play too heavily into this one. I don't know if it had more crazy modes like this.
I don't honestly remember the craziness of the modes. Two flag CTF.
Cudge Dave says, I was in a bar last Friday, and at least I thought I was 35. You do reach an age where, like, in your young adult life where you actually stop keeping track of your birthdays for the most part.
Yeah.
You're like, well, how old am I this year?
Oh, look at this.
I have a job and I buy my own toys anyway, so it's, like, less important to you.
Yeah.
That's always a problem with, like, buying my folks presents for their birthdays. It's like, what can I buy you that you haven't already bought yourself?
Right.
Can you not buy that thing this year so I can buy it for you?
Protect flag carrier. Yeah.
The Imperial flag has been dropped.
No.
The Empire has our flag.
Oh, hell no.
The Imperial flag has been dropped.
We are being called colonials.
That's okay with me. I can handle that.
You know what's funny is that part of my education was completely lacking. Like, they can't tell you how many times in school I learned about the Greeks and the Romans and like the Egyptians, but they just sort of missed the whole colonial expansion in the Middle East.
Yep.
Like, oh, by the way, this thing that will define like all of the 2000s, we're just gonna skip that part.
Yeah, not really that important.
Not that important. Modern formation in the Middle East, not really all that important. Let me teach you about Greek history one more time.
Yeah.
The Empire has our flag. The Imperial flag is ours.
Oh yeah, you got a solo blaster going.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I'm like, how come I have like the Han Solo blaster? Like that was not. There's no way that was standard issue.
The Imperial flag has been dropped.
I don't think Solo ever actually used the scope on that thing.
I don't think so either. And it was a big one.
Drop the enemy's flag. The Imperial
I remember back in the day.
Oh no!
Oh, get the flag.
drop the
Get the
enemy's
flag. I remember back in the day there was a huge argument as to whether blasters fired lasers.
The Imperial
Oh yeah, the grenade got him.
I think the ultimate conclusion was that blasters do not fire lasers. They fire charged particles or something
Oh, yeah.
heavier.
Wookiee Yoda. Wookiee Yoda. Wookiee Yoda. Wookiee Yoda.
You know what I always thought was rad about Star Wars 2?
Wookiee or Yoda. Wookiee or
Go
Yoda.
Yoda. Go Yoda. You gotta go Yoda.
I can't even see him. He's in the bushes.
He's so small. He's just in the bushes. You can't even see him.
I'm probably going the wrong way. Okay.
Haha. In your face, easy objective comment.
Oh, he's got like a force push.
This is totally Yoda's territory. I mean, you're on his home turf here.
That's right. Where the hell? What's this?
I don't know, go
Oh,
there.
this is the flag.
Hey, you're guarding your flag.
I'm guarding my flag. Okay, good. Now that I...
Kill the stormtroopers.
It's Master Yoda. Attack!
The Empire has our flag.
What?
The Imperial flag has been dropped.
Chase down your flag.
I like return the flags.
Oh, he just stole it from you. He's right behind you. That guy.
For the Alliance.
I think I got him. Where'd the flag go?
That guy.
The Empire has our flag.
How do I like pick it up? Do I have to like E?
You may just have to stand. He's got your flag. Kill the dude with your flag. You force push him.
The Alliance flag has been dropped.
E, Q.
That's target. Oh, they're coming for you.
I can use the force on them. That's
The
cool.
Empire has our flag.
Use some force.
Do something.
Flag.
Somebody pick it up.
The Imperial flag
I don't know. Is it one of those games where the flag never actually can be put back? It just continues to travel until somebody captures.
I really don't know.
The Empire has our flag.
Scroll back wants you to speak as Yoda. Defend the flag.
My flag you are taking.
Your tiny body must.
My lightsaber I will cut you out. Ah!
The Imperial has dropped our flag.
I think because Yoda was always a senior member, nobody ever demanded he just speak English.
Right.
The Empire has our flag.
You don't think Samuel Jackson ever like rolled his eyes when he was talking? There goes Yoda again. 800 years old and can't even speak proper English.
The Empire has our flag. The Empire has our flag. The Imperial has dropped our flag. The Alliance flag-
Speak proper English, you must.
The Alliance flag has been dropped. Sniper, take cover. The Empire has our flag.
Yeah.
The Imperial flag has been dropped.
I guess it wasn't nice to like use the force and then cut him up. Fuck it, I'm grabbing
The
their
Empire
flag.
has our flag.
Oh wait, that's their spawn.
The Alliance flag has been dropped. The Imperial flag is ours.
Scrowback says Sam Jackson probably would be like, Yoda, man, that mother F never made any sense in the council chambers. Mace Windu quote. Bring me cheeseburgers, you must.
The Imperial flag is ours.
Fries with a Coke, I will have. How do you think he ordered at like the Jedi Temple cafeteria?
I'm sure they eventually learned what he was saying.
The Empire has our flag.
Decaf coffee you must make. And then the servers all, no, I mustn't. It's kind of rude the way he would have to ask for it, you know?
The Imperial flag is ours.
Haha.
Sugar with cream is how
Screw
I
you
take my
guys.
coffee.
What is it? Sugar and cream with my coffee I take?
Yeah, sugar and cream with my coffee I take.
Where do I do? Okay, this way.
Nobody can catch Yoda. He just runs so fast in those little
I don't mind
bushes.
saying Yoda's on the OP side.
Nice. Yeah, I totally won an entire round with Darth Maul. Just basically got Darth Maul and it just lightsabered the crap out of the entire other team.
The Empire has our flag.
Oh yeah, you remember how all of the Empire were British? They weren't clones, they were all British. And then like in the recent films, all of the Empire turned Maori. It's like,
It's a different time period.
damn you Brits, you took over the original Empire.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do about
Talking
it?
about colonials.
Anybody else want to challenge me on this? Didn't think so. All right.
Kudge Dave is saying yodaspeak.co.uk. I haven't clicked on that, but maybe this is a place where people have their best Yoda quotes.
The Empire has our flag.
Oh no, you don't.
The Imperial has dropped our flag.
All right, so how would Yoda say, "Leave the mayonnaise off my sandwich"?
The Empire has
My sandwich without mayonnaise, it must be.
That sounds believable.
dropped the enemy's flag.
Oh, he's taking a nap.
He got sleepy.
Going back to the swamp for whence he came.
Wookiee time.
Oh no, it's a Yoda generator website. That's what it is. I'm assuming you type in something and it says it in Yoda.
That's a point for the Empire.
Jedi Muzzy says, can you imagine Yoda trying to talk in an Indian call center or to order car insurance? Now that would be funny. Dude, George Lucas merchandised absolutely everything. I'm kind of surprised that never happened.
It's true.
When Yoda wants car insurance, progressive he must have.
Ah. Oh, my controls are... Ah!
I think we need like a Flow Yoda crossover commercial.
Man, they have different controls for absolutely every character type and thing. Well, that's inverted, but... Oh, that's right.
The Imperial
Okay.
flag has been dropped.
Alright. Oh, there's 2 levels of zoom. It's part of what was
Imperial
confusing me.
flag is ours.
You know what's kind of funny about the Clone Wars series is it made you realize that Yoda kind of sucked at his job during the fall of the Old Republic. Granted, the like, you know,
The Imperial flag is ours.
Palpatine was basically right there clouding his judgment the entire time, which was sort of the brilliance of his strategy.
Imperial
But
flag has been dropped.
it's kind of Yoda's fault, actually. Yoda kind of dropped the ball. It's kind of on his watch that all this happened.
That's a point
Yep.
for the
Oh, no.
Who wouldn't want Jedi car insurance? I guess if you had Jedi car insurance, you would like see the crash coming and know how to avoid it. Scroback says at least the licensing isn't as terrible as Kiss, who has a coffin and has speakers. Oh, has a coffin that has speakers and can be used as a cooler. That is cross promotion.
Alright, so... Maybe do a little Galactic conquest here.
His fault it was. Turn left on the light he did.
So the cool thing about Galactic Conquest is it's instead of having a story like campaign, it's more like a take over all the planets game, and you can pick any one of these.
all fleets on standby.
What seems to be the officer problem? Drinking I have not been.
Okay. So there is an enemy. Okay, so we want to go.
Dayton says, I have only dipped into this game, but it looks really deep. We're playing some Star Wars Battlefront II.
Oh, I'm the bad
If
guy.
you want to play online right now, you can download it off of Steam. You have to do a bug fix, though, to make it run, where you go into your audio drivers, you go to the record tab, you enable the stereo mix. You have to say show invisible things, and then you enable your stereo mix, and this game will play. There's still online servers, maybe like 5 of them going right now. I don't know how long that'll last. It may be people
Got a little nostalgic.
who got a little nostalgic and went back in. That or they've been playing since 2007 and will murder the hell out of you.
Commencing Utapau invasion.
Hell yeah, we're invading.
Okay, it looks like we're going to wrap this in about 5 minutes.
No, 5 minutes.
I got to go edit a big old Bioshock Infinite gun show, which is mostly about salts and racism, as that game is about those things.
Falling in.
Well, this has been fun. I think this was just an excellent game.
It is really cool to look back on a game that did something pretty much no game had ever done before, or at least done this well when it came out.
A command post is under Imperial control.
Well, again, it's like at the very least, you're playing Battlefield with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's basically Star Wars Battlefield.
And if you like Battlefield and you like Star Wars, this is like kind of a dream come true.
Oh heck yeah, getting in that thing. I don't really
Getting in
know.
this thing.
This was like post the original Star Wars, I think.
Yeah, so like Battlefront 1, I think, was the original ones, and then
This one took into account the prequels.
yeah. I mean, on the plus side, they still like included a bunch of stuff for people who like definitely like wanted to. Somebody else is controlling my turret,
Ah, cool.
or something else, I should say.
Two-person vehicles. You guys are... This game may have had some balancing issues. That or the other team just, I don't know, doesn't have the right classes. Because this is class-based, so it was what, like 4 or 5 classes plus heroes?
Or, yeah, more actually. And if I remember correctly, the way it sort of worked, like if you're playing like a more competitive mode, was that you as your team earned points. It sort of happened in that last game we were playing, the Capture the Flag game. It's like as you earn points, you unlock the heroes, and sort of like each map has like a a hero, faction-specific hero, and
Oh,
that was rad.
You got spawn killed.
And so just sort of like as like I don't know what's a good example, like Left 4 Dead,
Yeah.
where like after enough points like you can spawn as. See, there's an open turret here.
Oh, well.
There you go.
Yep.
See?
Dude's totally in it.
Is no longer under Empire control.
And when we've talked about like when it came to Battlefield, like how we felt about is it like graphics versus gameplay. This game is pretty old, and this was on the consoles, and it had like 32 player support.
Oh, this one had 32 on... Was it PS2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, I'll take the player count
Over the graphics?
over the graphics, and
Wow.
also this is like rad because it's Star Wars.
Run
so
them over.
it's
Can you
like-
run them over? Hit boost. See what happens. Yeah, run them over.
Oh, I
Oh,
blew up running them over.
yeah. So this had a higher player count than modern Battlefield 3 on console.
That's
So
correct.
that is what you were saying, sir.
That is what I'm saying. As a note to, whoever's listening out there.
Dice.
Dice, if you're listening, although after last week, I don't know if they want to listen to us ever again.
We were not super happy with their single player showcase. Man, you're getting yourself into a pretty good fight going on here.
Okay, that's not the weapon I wanted to switch to.
Look at that side scope. You got to go gangster on that one. When you ADS, does it go gangster?
That would be funny.
You got to go third person to see if that. I guess it actually doesn't work in third person like that. That'd be pretty hilarious if you went gangster scope on that thing.
And this is another thing that, this is, maybe a lot of people who are like current Battlefield players might not remember or be aware of, but the old Battlefield games had this bot mode. Like you'd play on
Totally.
multiplayer maps, and you could like just get on the multiplayer map and play against bots, and that
Which
was
is-
actually pretty freaking fun.
Good way to learn to fly helicopters and stuff.
And that's another. If I was gonna like send a message to Dice, say like, hey, bring back the bot thing, because it was actually kind of fun and like get into some multiplayer. Just play co-op against bots.
I'm gonna one up you. I'm just gonna say, hey Disney, why don't you contract out Battlefront 3?
Yeah, that would be good.
Just do that.
2 dice.
Yeah, to Dice. That's what I'm saying. I think actually Dice would like be relieved to work on another game at this point.
Yeah. Even if all it is
they-
Battlefield with Star Wars over
What
top
did they?
of it.
They had like a break for Mirror's Edge, and then that was about it.
Yeah, basically.
If you're listening to this, Disney, just give this one over to Dice. I'd say. Just whatever you do, don't give it to Sega because they murdered the Aliens franchise.
Oh wow, yeah, that was ugly.
That was bad
That was
by
really,
all accounts.
really bad. Well, I mean, maybe I can just like quit out of this and.
I don't know. You're doing freaking rad, man.
But if people
Just
want to
outro
like
here.
check this out, it's on Steam. It's like what, $10?
Yep. So Battlefront 2
And
on Steam.
It's honestly, I think it's worth $10. Like again, like this is playing the Galactic conquest mode, and that's actually really fun because like you take over the planets, you do the space battles, you do the ground battles, you do all the same stuff.
$10 is definitely worth
but
the
with like
weekend.
a little bit more of a strategy to it.
Yeah.
So
So that was it for Battlefront 2. A little
FPS Friday.
FPS Friday homage to LucasArts, who are no longer with us.